Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I trust that you are all well. I know that your time is of the essence and that you are short of a little time here with me, so I will not supply you with the sermon that I'm going to deliver tomorrow. It is the first that I should be making since being appointed here as the minister of First Presbyterian Church here in Derry. It is a pleasure, and as such, I should really introduce myself formally into your company. May I do so, madam?
Of course.
You're most generous and kind. My name is the Reverend Robert Black, and I bid you all a good day and welcome. It is customary that you return such greetings.
Good day and welcome.
Thank you, Margaret. Excellent. That's wonderful. No, I'm merely in today to prepare myself for the sermon tomorrow. Like all good Presbyterians, it's in three parts. And I am delivering a sermon on the idea of walking in the footsteps of Christ, something that I'm sure you all try to do on a daily basis. I was the minister here, appointed the minister here by the Earl of Bristol, the Bishop of Derry. He had the pleasure, I think, of hearing me speak at one of the Dungannon conventions. I was there in 1782 and again in 1783. I'm not sure which one he heard, but it impressed him nonetheless that he wished for me to take up post here, as it were. I was the minister in Dromore in County Down. Are you familiar with Dromore? Yes, I was the minister there from 1777, and prior to that I studied at university in Glasgow under the tutelage of Dr. Thomas Reid, ethics and ethical studies. Not bad for a man whose father came from humble but solid roots as a farmer in Mullabrack in County Armagh. Anybody from County Armagh here? No? You are indeed, madam. You're most welcome, of course. How is the Orchard County? Excellent. I'm delighted. But I believe the reason why I've been appointed here is because the Bishop of Derry has a desire to see tolerance in faith within this city. He wishes for both Presbyterians and Roman Catholics to be able to practice their faith within the city freely. And it is something that I have long believed needs to be adhered to and changed, is certainly the emancipation of our Roman Catholic brethren. For I seconded the motion in Dungannon at the convention there for there to be Catholic emancipation, and hopefully someday in the future we shall see our brethren have the same rights that we hold ourselves dear. But my friends, there are two things one should not speak about in polite society: politics and religion, and I have done both. So I trust that you will enjoy the rest of your visit day. Mr. Lusby here is a man who has a font of knowledge and an interesting attire and red t-shirts. So I shall bid you farewell and allow you to be in his presence a little longer than you are with me. A pleasure to speak and meet with you all. Thank you very much. God bless.
We have in the Playhouse, the Playhouse used to be St. Joseph's Convent School for girls up the street, and then what the main building of the Playhouse was the one for boys. We actually have a nun from the foundation of that school. So if you want to go and we've had the Anglican mayor's wife or whatever, and the Anglican dean in St. Columb's Cathedral. We've had the dissenting Presbyterian here, and if you want to just complete the trinity of it, if you wanted to go to the Playhouse, you can go and chat to a 19th century nun in her full garb. Just to say a wee bit to finish what I was saying about this building, really interesting. If you go into the portico, there's a list of the ministers of First Derry back to 1644. So, but very much a worshipping community who didn't have the full authority of worshipping within the walls. And as William said, it wasn't until after the siege of Derry that it took a royal intervention that allowed them to Presbyterians to worship within the walls of Derry. And interesting, if you look at the top, the rebellious nature of Presbyterians in the city is proudly displayed. It says that, and I think that the first incident of stone throwing in Derry wasn't between Catholics and Protestants, as we think. It was actually between the Presbyterians and the Anglicans, because the first Presbyterian minister that was brought over temporarily, they had the temerity to set up a meeting house just a few blocks down from the bishop's palace, and the Anglican bishop was totally affronted by this, and he sent down to the mayor to bring the sheriff out of the town hall in the Diamond. They came up to the meeting house, this temporary meeting house, and tried to eject the Presbyterian minister. And Campsie, I think a father of the Campsie of the siege or whatever, he intervened and said, if you lay a hand on our minister, we'll do whatever. And so the sheriffs moved in to lift the minister out, and he lifted a stone, fired it at the sheriff, missed the sheriff, and knocked the hat off the bishop. So I think that's the first instance of stone throwing. And the first, if you look on the panel there, it talks about the protests that the Presbyterians had to have in the city, particularly in the Covenanting days, and they talk about protesting in the Diamond. So sit-down protest and stone throwing is not the preserve of my own community. The Presbyterians were doing it here in the city first. So they got permission to build the church in 1690. They were probably given this plot of land. It seemed to be a vacant plot of land at the back of the walls. So the appropriate place to put the dissenters, not on the main street, the cruciform, but at the back of the walls. And it may have been because when they did the renovations in here, Ronnie, they didn't do a full excavation, but they lifted some of the floorboards and they found skulls and skeletons under the floors. Just here. So it may have been a bit of a burial ground after the siege. So let's give that to the Presbyterians and let them build their church. They built the church that you see in that drawing. Probably that we think that drawing on the wall was actually done by the architect Priestley in 1780. So before you leave, it'd be nice if you want to go up and just look at what the meeting house lane Upper Magazine Street looked like in 1780. That's the most accurate representation we have. And very plain fronted church. Then in 1913, I think the portico was added. Ronnie's gone. The portico was added in 1913.
The festival was 1820.
But the column
was 1902.
1902. And it's at that point that Presbyterians let their hair down and put fancy fronts on their church. Almost a Roman front on a Presbyterian church. So that's an interesting a bit of analogy. And then the other final thing that I really love is in terms of First Derry and its rebellious history is the memorial plaque on this side, which is a memorial to, in 1703, Queen Anne brought in an act in Britain and Ireland to say that you couldn't hold public office unless you took communion in the Anglican Church. Well, the whole of the town council was mainly Presbyterians, the mayor and whatever, and they proudly resigned their seats and their income in protest. And that was in 1703. If you think of what happened, the massive migration of Presbyterians from northwest Ulster to the emerging United States of America, the forerunner, happened at that time. Presbyterians who fought during the siege of Derry, suffered the most losses in defending the city, got a bit of privilege and allowed to build a church, but immediately that privilege was stripped away and by Queen Anne, and that's what was the spur for the big Presbyterian emigration to the United States, or to America. They took that sense of chip on their shoulder. They fought alongside Washington, and after the American War of Independence, that spirit blew back across the Atlantic, and that's why the Presbyterians in the run-up to the 1798 rebellion in Ulster were the rebellious people. People like the Reverend Robert Black, as he said, was at the Dungannon Convention of Irish Volunteers. So what happened here during the siege, the accommodation of the Presbyterians by Queen Mary, their distancing again by Queen Anne, the wave, there was obviously a linen poverty at that time as well in Ulster, but linen famine. Emigration to the United States, taking that revolutionary, that belief in government by the authority, the government through a monarch, but by the authority of the people, took that and influenced the American Revolution, and they brought that revolutionary spirit back here. And it is a mystery among historians why Derry didn't rise in 1798. Probably because the French Revolution went just a wee bit too far. There was just a bit too much guillotining, and it sullied the whole revolutionary zeal. And the Earl Bishop, he departed off to as European tours. His reputation was damaged, and after the 1798 rebellion, when they needed to bring a military force into the city to keep just control of these Presbyterians, just to make sure they didn't get a bit too uppity again, the place they took over, as William said, was the Bishop's Palace. So the Earl Bishop was off in Roman Greece, and the British garrison came in and took over the Bishop's Palace, and that's why they took over his gardens, and that turned it into a parade ground, and that's why it's called Grand Parade, because it was a big military. And then if you think during the recent Troubles, the second time in our history when this city was seen as disloyal, had to bring a military force in, the very same place was taken over. It's just interesting that twice during the city's history, when the government in England saw this as a rebellious city, first time by the Presbyterians, second time by the Catholics mainly, the same location was taken over by the British military, and it was only the influence of the head of the Freemasons at that time. I can't think who it was at that time, but it was somebody connected to the royal family and whatever. And in the 1960s, 70s, and he made sure that they didn't take over the actual hall at that time. But it's just interesting that twice in the city's history, the same spot was taken over. So anyway, that was my little run through. This is the formal. I'm going to formally end the tour at this point because we've taken up a huge amount of your time, and I have another tour to do with sketching at 1:30, so I need to connect with that. William is going to stay on and to walk down to Guildhall Square. If anybody would like to continue the tour, William has another half hour. But at this point, is there any questions, observations anybody have that you want to make? Any information we got wrong you want to put us right on?
We don't know. We're learning today. So well, thank you so much. You've been brilliant, very interesting.
Thank
Well
you very
done.
much. There's a free bag
Yeah.
for you, and we'll give it away free because we got the date wrong.
Oh!
So my T-shirt is officially wrong. The City Council will be celebrating the 4th anniversary of the Walls in 2018, but the Friends of the Derry Walls will be doing it in 2019.
Right.
We believe they were finished in 2019, so we're getting rid of all our merchandise early, so they're quite unique, big collector's items, these T-shirts and these bags. So you're very welcome to take a bag.
Thank
with
you.
And thank you to William.